I want to introduce you to the Chens. Now, this is a sample profile, but it's based on a real planning situation. If you're a couple in your late 50s or early 60s, or you're starting to think about retirement and Social Security, this might sound familiar. David, he's 61. He just retired from his role as VP of Operations. And his wife, Linda, she's 56. She's still working for the federal government as a program analyst. She's planning to retire in about 4 years. That's when she turns 62. She's going to be eligible for her pension. They've done well here. They've saved about $1.8 million. It's spread out between David's 401k and his rollover IRA. Linda has her TSP. That's just the government version of the 401k. She's got a Roth IRA here, and of course they have that joint brokerage account. Their house is paid off. They just have a small auto loan left, and they're in great shape. But David has more on his mind that he hasn't shared with me yet. So they come into their first planning meeting with a question that I hear all the time. When should we claim Social Security? So David's primary insurance amount, that is the amount that Social Security calculates and they say he's earned based on his whole work history, is $31.80 per month. And that's at his full retirement age, 67. Linda's is a little bit lower here. It's at $19.20 per month. They were planning on both claiming Social Security right when she retires and her pension starts. Let's see what I call the baseline scenario in their plan. Here we're assuming that they both live till the age of 90. Now, for every year that you delay claiming past your full retirement age, your benefit increases by 8%. And that's not 8% total, that's 8% per year. So if you wait from 67 until 70, you're looking at a 24% permanent increase to your monthly benefit amount. Now, on the flip side of this, if you claim early at age 62, your benefit's going to be reduced by about 30% compared to what you get at your full retirement age. And that reduction is permanent. It follows you for the rest of your life. So what does the math say for the Chens? Well, I'm here on their Social Security page in Right Capital, and based on their current strategy, they are anticipating a total lifetime benefit right above $2.2 million. Now, if they wait a little bit longer to claim, let's say that full retirement age, their total benefit goes up. Their combined monthly benefit would be about $5,100 a month, and they'd expect right around $2.4 million over the course of their retirement. Now, if we use the optimal strategy for the Chens, their benefit's going to increase even further. Waiting until 70 for both of them increases their total lifetime benefit up above $2.7 million. Now, when I run this strategy through the software and compare all the different outcomes, when both spouses are living into their late 80s or beyond, it's typical that the software tells them to delay until 70 to take Social Security. So the Chen's break-even age here is 81. What that means is that one of them has to live past age 81 for their optimal strategy to pay off. Now, optimal strategy doesn't mean without trade-offs. If David and Linda delay their Social Security until 70, they need to fund their expenses until their Social Security starts with withdrawals from their portfolio. That means larger withdrawals from their investments during a period where they have less income coming in. But overall, in the baseline case, waiting till 70 is a major impact on their long-term benefit. So let's see that final result here. Yeah, more than $500,000 over their plan. David's benefit, it grows from about $3,200 a month to up over $3,900. And Linda's increases from $1,900 up over $2,300. They're earning on average about $1,200 more per month every month. And that's for the rest of their lives. That larger benefit amount, it now gets adjusted with inflation every year. So the benefit of waiting is a higher guaranteed income floor later in retirement. The cost? That's leaning harder on your portfolio when it's most vulnerable to changes in the market. But the Chen's plan here, it's robust enough. We can hedge that risk in a different way. Now, if this kind of analysis is helpful for you, take a second to subscribe to my channel. I put out videos like this every week to help you make informed decisions about your financial life. So at this point in our meeting, things are looking pretty clear for the Chens. They both just need to delay until 70, right? Maximize the benefit, case closed. But David gets kind of quiet for a moment. He brings up something, changes everything. He lets me know his father passed at 76. His uncle had a similar outcome in his early 70s. Now, David lets me know that he's managed his health better than his father, but the pattern is hard to ignore for him. And he asks, what if I don't make it till 90 here? What if I'm leaving money on the table by waiting? That's a great question. It's exactly the kind of question that can completely change the analysis we've done. So we run a different scenario. This time, we're assuming David, he's going to live until age 78. And Linda, well, her parents are in their 80s and they're still active. So we bumped her planning horizon out just a little bit to 92. If you can see here, the software is now recommending a different optimal strategy. Linda is supposed to claim at age 62, but David is still delaying until 70. And that might seem backwards, right? If he's not living as long, shouldn't he be the one claiming early? Let's take a look at the results here. So I'm going to hop back over here to our Social Security analysis. Okay, so the optimal strategy versus what they were currently going to do, claiming during Linda's retirement, has a total benefit of about $375,000 more dollars for their full plan. And let's take a look here at the break even. It's moved up a little bit, up to age 80. And that's because Linda's claiming early again. Here's where it gets interesting. And it's what I promised you at the beginning. David's decision here to delay Social Security, it's not about David. It's about protecting Linda. When one spouse passes away, the surviving spouse doesn't continue to receive both of their Social Security checks. That'd be nice, right? They receive one check, and it's going to be the higher of the two benefits. And that's what's happening here. Linda's claiming early to start her benefit, and that maximizes her total lifetime return. When David passes away at 78, Linda stops receiving her smaller benefit and starts receiving David's larger benefit. If David claims early, what he's doing is he's locking in that reduced benefit. That's a smaller amount, and Linda would be stuck with that for potentially decades. But if David delays till 70, he maximizes his benefit and the survivor benefit that Linda would receive. Now in this scenario, Linda claims her own reduced benefit at 62, and it gives their household some income to live on before David turns 70. This is why, in most couples' situation, whoever earns the most has to think carefully about when they claim Social Security, because it's not just about their retirement, it's about what they would leave behind. Now, I want to take a moment here to address something that doesn't show up in the math and software. Even after seeing these numbers, many clients still feel uncomfortable about the idea of drawing down their portfolio and waiting to claim Social Security. The math says wait, but their gut says, I don't want to watch my balance go down. And honestly, it's a totally valid concern. I love when my clients let me know how they're feeling about the plan. Now, to their credit, claiming early can have some hidden benefits. Retirees tend to spend 80% of the income that comes in from regular sources, like Social Security or Linda's pension. But when it comes to their investment portfolios, they're going to spend less than half of what they could safely withdraw. This is all just according to researchers David Blanchett and Michael Finke. Now, there's a real difference between spending money that lands in your checking account every month. It feels regular, it feels like income. That feels very different than logging into your brokerage, selling something you own, and transferring the cash. That feels like you're eating into your safety net. So even though delaying Social Security is often mathematically optimal, if the anxiety of watching your portfolio declines and that prevents you from enjoying retirement, then delaying, it might not be the best strategy for you. Here's how I like to think about it with my clients. The strategy here, it's never set in stone. Social Security is a decision you get to make sometime between age 62 and 70. If the market takes a downturn and you're ready to file, you can turn the benefits on in about 2 or 3 months. Now, the same thing is true if you were to receive a poor health diagnosis that changed your outlook on your longevity. You're never locked into the strategy. You have options. Now, if withdrawing your portfolio causes you stress, we can build that into the plan to reduce your anxiety. For the Chens, what that might look like is earmarking a couple of years worth of expenses in conservative assets. That would be their Social Security bridge. This isn't their retirement portfolio. It would be a separate mental bucket designated to cover the spending for a worst case market scenario. When you separate out money like that, the waiting period for Social Security might not feel like you're depleting your nest egg. Now, as you've seen today, there's not a universal right answer. It depends on so many variables: your health, your spouse's health, how much assets you have, your tolerance for risk, and ultimately what you're trying to protect. If you found this helpful, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. And if you want to see what a personalized analysis of your situation would look like, I invite you to schedule a Get Started meeting with Glow. It's free, there's absolutely no pressure, and it's simply a conversation to see if our style of comprehensive planning would be a good fit for you. You can find a link in the description below. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. I'm Jordan Drinkhouse. I'll see you in the next one.